Hello there folks, Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today what we're going to do is something kind of fun. This ceiling here was done with an exterior stucco. It's interior, but it was done with an exterior stucco. It's either Santa Barbara Smooth or 2030. I could match it with either of those products. What they did was they put some new piping in here, and they went all the way around here, all the way around this. And what the fella tried to do is match the finish. He tried it himself, and you know what? He did a pretty good job. What he used was this white Portland cement. Then what he mixed that Portland cement was this 30 grit sand. This is pretty fine stuff here. It's 30 mesh sand. So you mix those two together, and you come up with a cement that you could use. It's a long way to do it. What we're going to use is turn over this way, please, Jay. We're using this stuff here. It's La Habra. Everything is included in it. It's a 20-30 mix, and it has everything in it. All I do is mix it with water. We're done. Yes, it has lime in it, Portland cement, and all that jazz. So now Dan's applying the bonding agent. The homeowner said, we already put the bonding agent. I thought, well, gee, we had a little bit left, and I want to always make certain we've got a good bonding agent. So Dan's putting the bonding agent everywhere again. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start skim coating this. Now we've already mixed up some material. Now this is the La Habra. It's the color coat material. Say for example, now get some clinkers off here. All I'm going to do is feather this stuff in. We'll just feather it in. And then I'm going to float that. Say I'm going to do that the entire wall. Getting the clinkers off. If there are clinkers, I don't want them on there. So now I continue with feathering this stuff in. Just like that. I'm going to continue our merry way of spreading this out. You guys can get an idea of how to spread it out. Just like that. And what they had here, they went over button board. You guys might say, what the heck is button board? Button board is like old lath or like a mesh. It has holes in it, and how the plaster adheres. Once you tack that button board on like sheetrock, the holes in it act as our bond, where we apply the first coat and it goes through the holes and it mushrooms on the other side, and that's how that adheres. No button board here now. They just went with regular sheetrock. You couldn't find button board today. At least I don't think you can. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and spread this out. And when it gets time to start floating this, I'm going to show you that too. And one last thing to keep in mind, color coats are only about 1/8 of an inch thick. So if I go thicker than 1/8 of an inch thick, it's going to crack. And over here, I do have some of my joints are 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick. I'm going to mix color coat on my hawk, and I'm going to put a little bit of luminite. Luminite is an accelerator. It excels everything, and I'm just going to go over 2 hawks of that. When that dries, then I'm going to go right back to what I'm doing here. Alright guys, it's kind of dark here, but we have about a 1/2 inch in some areas and a 1/4 inch in some areas. Now the color coat I'm using, it's kind of like taping mud. If you put it too thick, more than 1/8, it will crack like an egg. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of mud here. And this mud has got luminite. Luminite is an accelerator. So in about, judging by, we put the luminite in the white stuff, this is already turning brown, or I figure this will dry in about 15 minutes, but we are jumping all over the place. We're always improvising, and whatever area is ready, that's where we hit. So I'm going to go around, hit all these little areas, and then I'm going to continue on my merry way with that skim coat. But again, it cannot, like taping mud, it would crack like an egg right here, so I'm trying to avoid that. Alright guys, to give you a better example, this is kind of rough, and he didn't feather in his joints well enough. And that's okay. That's why I'm here. just like an engine. Watch. The idea with a color coat, over a color coat, it sucks the moisture right out because the cement is finished. Now what I'm going to do is just correct this one patch right here. And as soon as I'm done correcting it, I'm going to go ahead and float it. Here's the separates the experts from the homeowner. The joint has got to be hit quick, otherwise that joint will stay exposed. One more. Okay, just for the sake of explanation, that joint there is fresh. If I were to allow this joint right here to sit another 10 minutes, I would lose that joint. And when I say lose that joint, I wouldn't be able to feather it in well. You would still be able to see it. And what they want to do is not see so much. I mean, you're going to see a little bit, but they don't want to see a lot. Okay, so I got water on my sponge, and I'm hitting this real lightly this way at first. And now I'm getting my joint. My joint is one of the things I want to hit first before I hit the center of the wall. And I'm using the whole flat edge of the sponge float. Now that all the water's done, water when taken wet into a super dry finish, you've got to use a lot of water. And I hit my whole joint first before I mess with the center. And as I'm doing this, all the water's coming off of the float. So I'm putting it back in my water bucket, cleaning it off, and going around once more. Once I get this joint feathered in, where I'm happy with it, then I'm going to hit the center of the wall. And we're going to do that this whole inside area. Okay, now that's done. Now we just kind of want to feather it lightly. And if I hit it too hard with the float, you'll see a bunch of bulges. It'll be every which way. I want it kind of flat, so I'm using the flat part of the trowel, or I'm sorry, the sponge. All right, now there is what we want. Quite a big difference from here to here. And when this dries, because I went with the La Havre base 100, it's white, so it'll match this. If I went with base 200, it's kind of a gray. It wouldn't match the color right. But they're not concerned with color, they're just concerned with filling all that out, and I told them I would fix this patch too. Alright guys, Jay's spreading, I'm floating, Dan's actually holding the camera. As he floats or spreads, I just come right behind him and do the easy stuff. Let these joints in well. Takes a little bit of practice to float a wet joint into a dry wall, but I can do it. Okay guys, last thing I want to show you is Dan's with me, my 19-year-old. He always got a lot of great questions. I just completed this area here. Now with my color coat done here, notice this is pretty flat. It's very flat. Over here we got waves. It looks like cake frosting. He says, well, how are you getting yours so flat and theirs isn't? I'm going to spread this out and show you guys. Okay. Spread it out. What I'll do is take my float on its flat part, not on edge. One more. The more feathering in you do on the edges too, you got some wiggle room. You can relax a little bit more. Okay, now that I'm skimmed it about enough where I can work it. The wall's still wavy right now. However, I'm gonna fix that. Set myself up here so I don't have to bend down. Fix up the tray. Okay, while my float is wet, I'm gonna hit my joint first. And, okay, so I hit my joint first because this is sucking the moisture right out of it. So this is full of water here, so I hit that joint. And I'm putting all that water on it. And right there, it already took all the water out of my stuff. So I'm gonna hit it again. This stuff just takes practice. You gotta look at it and decide how much water you have left on that float. And now I feather in this joint because it's got about as much water as I need on it. And I'm gonna continue doing that all the way around until my joint is acceptable to me. There's my rear. It meets the wall. I still have water on my float, so I'm going to get this joint, which leaves me with one more joint right here. Again, I'm going to dip it in here, get the joint out. You got to have the water to get the joint out. Okay, I'm going to pull it into it. I'm taking the existing and pulling it into the new. And that's pretty much there. My joint is gone. And now the part where Dad says, how come it's wavy? Well, like he was trying to show me a couple years back on the snowboard, keep your board on its edge. And I still couldn't figure out today what the heck he meant, but same purpose of this float. Now if I use my heel or my toe or the edges, it's going to come out wavy. What I'm going to do is put the whole thing flat. And now with it flat, I'm going to float it. See, that's flat completely. I'm not using my edges. Technically in the trade we call the heel and the toe. I'm not using any of those. I'm going completely flat. As Dan was telling me how to get speed going down the hill on the snowboard. Keep it completely flat. Anyhow, and that is how I get a wall without a whole bunch of humps and bumps. And that part is why the other fella, the first time, he wouldn't know this stuff, but he should have given it a good shot. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and finish all of this off. No need, the same principles are going to apply, so I'm not going to show you the rest of it. Anyhow, my name is Kirk. I'm with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Now Jay's going to put the camera down. He's going to spread everything, and I'm just going to float right behind him. As usual, guys, we'll see you on the next one.